Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Mindset Podcast series, brought to you by the Opportunities for Youth in Africa, OYA program. We hope you can join us for conversations hosted by renowned African journalists interviewing inspiring, successful young entrepreneurs from across the African continent. These discussions will reveal the mindset and skills that build a successful entrepreneur based on real journeys and stories. It is about inspiring you to build your confidence, resilience, and enthusiasm to become one of the next successful entrepreneurs of the continent. The E-Mindset podcast is also about learning how technology, digitalization, and environmental sustainability can innovate business as usual practices for young entrepreneurs. Sit back, relax, and tune into a conversation on building an entrepreneurial mindset. OYA program. Join us and set yourself up for entrepreneurial success.
The African demographic is heavily youth. For a very long time, agribusiness has been attractive to the older demographic, which shouldn't be the case. It should be attractive to the younger demographic because we have energy, we have time, we have...
Agriculture contributes to 70% of Kenya's GDP. You can imagine how big that is. Most of the times when you talk about farming and agriculture, we show a picture of an older person, and it's not very attractive to young people. So at LakeUp, we've been very deliberate about this process. And one of the things that we've done is run incubation programs specifically for agribusinesses.
Because there's a single story about Africa, in other parts of the world. The more prevalent knowledge they have about Africa is that of poverty, is that of corruption. So as a company, we're trying to change that narrative. We're trying to change that story. We're trying to make other parts of the world understand that Africa it's a really beautiful continent. There's so many creative minds. There's so many beautiful things happening in Africa. We have some of the best talents, And so we always look out for content that really paints Africa in the right light, in such a way that the other parts of the world will understand what it means to be an African and what it means to live in Africa. So it's just more like a journey for them.
Number one is understanding yourself as an entrepreneur. Being intentional about your personal development plan. Understanding what your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are for you as a young person. Finding networks. Think of matching the value to a consumer need, but anticipate the need. Think of the competitive advantage, your edge. Think of the competitors as well. This will lead you to developing your budget, developing your cash flow, and so on and so forth, because you need to have some historical performance in Africa to be able to make progress.
By 2017, we could see how we are losing a lot by supplying only the raw material. We came up with the idea of making the chili oil. We made our first shipment of processed chili in Geneva in 2017. And we got very positive feedback. And we went to also to start to make the chili sauce, chili paste. That's in 2019 where we started to export the chili paste to China. And we had a contract with the chili oil. At the same time, we were also still importing the dry chili to China, to India, and fresh chili to Europe.
I would say passion first, because it's going to be challenging, difficult. And if you don't love it, you will quit, obviously. Passion, flexibility, perseverance, because they will meet uncertainty all the way. So they need to be prepared. What they need to know is that it's possible, but it's not easy. And I think for every single entrepreneur, it's key to know that before starting, because we usually hear stories of this entrepreneur starting in the garage and becoming like a multi-billionaire entrepreneur. Yeah, in the day, it's not like this. It's very complicated. It's a lot of issues, problems, uncertainty. So you have to navigate in this kind of water.
I always explain entrepreneurs like once you have done the right step to be registered in farmer, an investor is going to come because they are really convinced that they can multiply the money they inject in you. And for this, they need proof that every year you are making more profit. It's not even just profits. At least you need to showcase that you are making revenues, that there is a market. They need to see that, one, you have a great idea. 2, you have a business that is structured, registered, formal. And 3, they need to see that you are already making money. And I think that's a mindset that entrepreneurs need to have. Like, there's no investors that will give you money just for you to survive while developing your idea.